visuals, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another, let me, actually no, I need to straighten that camera up a bit. You shouldn't keep with the final cut down. Welcome back to another film review, and it's a biggie. It's a big eye, big boy, well, big girl in this case, that we're going to be reviewing, and it is Captain Marvel. Last night was a midnight release, and actually at the time of you watching this, I'm probably going to be at the cinema again, because I've got the day off work, so I'm going to go a few times. Before we get started, no spoilers here. I'll go into some details as much as I possibly can without spoiling anything, because I want you guys to experience it yourself. But me and Chris are going to do an in-depth, proper podcast where there will be spoilers in the next couple of days. So tune into them if you want some proper spoilers, if you've already seen the film and shit, and come back, talk about it, because there's some parts that really fucking annoyed me. And second of all, just wait for the Marvel intro. The usual MCU intro is awesome, but it got 20 times more awesome when you start this film. You'll see why when you watch it. I'm clearly representing Venom, but hey-o. And last of all, before we get actually started, I went into this film with the wrong mindset, okay? And I've got a few reasons why I think it could have been. I went into this film not fully acknowledging that I should sit down and watch it as Captain Marvel's story, as her story in the bigger story, in the whole grand scheme of things. I went into it thinking, right, how is this connected to Infinity War, Endgame, sorry, how are you getting back to Earth to help save the rest of the Avengers? That was my main thought, not her backstory, not her story, not Carol Danvers, not the Skrulls, not the Kree, anything like that, because I think it's because I already know about them things from the comic books, which I've been trying so hard to forget comic book logic and lore and stuff and just see it as a film. But anyway, I'm watching it again, so I'm going to go in with a different mindset and watch it like that. So my thoughts on the film could change after this review, but hey, oh, what the fuck. So yeah, go in, just think of her story first, and then when you get to the cutscenes and the credits, then remember it's a bigger tie-in. Don't just think, right, okay, where's Infinity War crack? Where's Endgame crack? What's going on? I love Spider-Man. Yes, I'm going to quickly get it out of the way, because I just said it there. The stuff that I really hated is comic booky stuff. All I'm going to say is Skrulls, I'm not overly keen how they were portrayed, as in not acted, but as in how they would their parts in the story were told, how they were written. But again, it's a different take on Skrulls. This is the MCU version of Skrulls. You'll see, if you're a big comic book fan, you might have the same opinion as me, I don't know, so you'll have to let us know in the comments below. And second of all is Marvel. I'm just going to say Marvel, that's it. Marvel is a huge key component, and not to say that Marvel wasn't a huge key component in this. I didn't feel like it was significant enough and truly justified for what Marvel is and who Marvel is and what Marvel has done in terms of Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel and stuff. Yeah, so they annoyed me. Film as a whole, in fact, should we get the connection to Infinity War out? Because I thought the connection to Infinity War when we got to it, or Endgame, was a bit lackluster. I thought it was a bit of a letdown. I hate being so negative. I'm always trying to find the positive stuff, but after this, it's all going to be full on positives, I swear to God. Because again, without trying to spoil it, we knew that was going to happen. I didn't want the before and after, because we knew that. I wanted the in between. And when you get to the podcast, you'll know what I mean, because obviously there's the pager goes off. So it's the beginning of trying to contact Captain Marvel to her receiving the message. I wanted to see what happened in between. Yes, there was some really key funny spots in this. Goose the cat, you'll enjoy the hell out of. Nick Fury's hilarious. Agent Coulson's got the funny moments. The Skrulls were hilarious to a certain degree. I was like, come on, why are you being so funny? You shouldn't be like this, but they gave me laughs anyway. Captain Marvel was funny herself. All of the big characters, Jude Law, all of the big characters like Jude Law, Brie Larson, they all played their respective roles absolutely phenomenal. They did great for their debut on the big screen. Nick Fury, Sam Jackson, Nick Fury, you just can't complain. Speaking of Brie Larson, I'm not here to talk about any of the shit that's going on outside of that. I don't care about that, okay? It can fuck off. May I just talk about the film Captain Marvel? So obviously I will have to mention Brie Larson, but whatever shenanigans she's doing outside, I don't care. There's a sick reference when you get to the obviously it's a bit, well, no, it's cool. It's cool. When you get to the Stan Lee cameo, there's another little nod and an Easter egg. Just look at what he's reading. It blew my mind. I loved it. Film was absolutely beautiful to watch. The sequences out in space, flying about, her costume, from going from the Kree colours of like the green and the dark green, all the way to how she finds her red, blue and golden. It all looked phenomenal. Being in different places in space and on Earth, where they interacted was fucking phenomenal. I really enjoyed that part of the film. Seeing new characters and newer versions of characters, like this is a different version of Nick Fury as to what we get in Avengers Assemble, Iron Man 2, etc. That was all really done so well. Brie Larson knocked it out of the park as Captain Marvel. She's really suited to the right. At first I was a bit unsure because I do like Brie Larson, but I was never like up there with her. And Captain Marvel's always been a character that I've liked, but I've never like gone out my way to do Captain Marvel-y stuff. I get the Captain Marvel comics. I've got a few figures and stuff. It's a character I like, but I like it a little bit more because of this. The way it was portrayed on the big screen. I think Brie Larson absolutely knocked that out of the park. So there's no complaints from acting or casting or anything like that. All of that was cool. My favourite moment is towards the end. Again, I won't spoil it too much when you've seen it in the trailer anyway, because obviously Ronan's in this as well. Ronan comes back, which is really fucking awesome to see. When she's flying out into space, doing the twisty. I think that's the closest we're ever going to get to like a proper Dragon Ball live action film. You know what I mean? If you're a Dragon Ball fan, like the auras are getting, like the goldiness. And I think that's the closest we're ever going to get. When she's flying at space, smashing up bullets and stuff, it all looked fucking awesome. And then towards, like I think it's like the start of the third act, there's a little fight scene with the song. Marvel films are so amazing at putting awesome songs with sequences together. They get you proper pumped, they get you proper hyped. They did that really well again. It broke down a lot because, again, maybe it's because I already know the character, but to me it felt a little bit drawn out from the slow down, who is Carol Danvers, who is Captain Marvel, to the action sequences and the visual effects and the all wow moments. They felt a bit too spaced out, like time wise, from the slow down moments to the action sequences. Didn't feel like it was enough. But again, Chris left the cinema thinking that was perfect because I got to know everything about her. I got to see her badass moments, and they truly do at the end of the film show you how badass and powerful and why she's going to be such a key player in Endgame to fight Thanos. They show that really well. You're going to definitely have a whirlwind of a ride. If you don't know who Captain Marvel is or who Carol Danvers is, you're gonna know straight away that they tell you the story of her so beautifully and so well. Not a lot is left out. You get to know so much about her, and you get to know about her powers and what she can do as she's learning to do them as well. We definitely haven't seen the full capacity of her powers. I think we'll get to see more of it in Endgame, but we did get to see a hell of a lot. No point where I'm trying to say was I sat down bored. I was not bored at all at one point. I was really engaged. I was intrigued. But again, I think the intrigue came from, okay, where are we going from Endgame? How are we getting into Endgame? What's going on in Endgame? Which I'm really guilty of. But again, like I said, as the time you're watching this, I'm probably watching it again. And I'll be watching it with a different perspective. But yeah, it was fun. The action sequences, the visual effects, the sound, the casting, everything was just phenomenal. There was just a few moments from comic book lore and comic book history which didn't kind of sit right with me. And again, if you're comic book readers, you may completely disagree yourselves. You'll have to let me know in the comments below. It just didn't quite sit right. It definitely had a laugh. And I think, though, to be fair, I don't want to say it was my least favourite MCU film, but it's because again, I truly do love them all. But if I don't think it will make my top 10 of the MCU films. But it was good. We now have Captain Marvel with us. We now know who she is, where she's come from. You get to explore the Kree race, the whole Kree Empire so beautifully and so well. So that's another little bit of lore, comic book lore, and storytelling and other further places you can go in future MCU films if you want to. The Skrulls, I don't really want to talk too much about them because in the podcast I'm going to have like a little bit of a ranty and ravey, but to be honest, let's look at the good point. We get Skrulls now in films. Is it going to be a future connection to Fantastic Four somewhere along the lines? Because again, they debuted in Fantastic Four. So they made their debut in the Fantastic Four back in 1960, whatever it was, 66, something like that. But yeah, they were all portrayed really well. The Skrulls made us laugh. They were a bit too... I'm not going to go there. Overall, I'm doing it again, but yeah. Overall, I was mostly satisfied. If I was somebody coming at this film thinking, who the hell is Carol Danvers? Well, as soon as I leave, I now know. Who is Captain Marvel? What she can do? Well, I now know. How's she going to get to the Avengers? Well, I definitely know that part now. How did Nick Fury's eye get fucked up? Well, I know that now. So if you're new to all this and this character, you've got a lot of questions answered. Well, if you... Yeah, you do. Yeah. Hopefully we get a return in Jude Law at some point in the future. That would be amazing. He was really cool in this film. I'm a huge fan of Jude Law anyway. How Nick comes up with the Avengers Initiative is a pretty cool. It's towards the end is really good. To see Phil Coulson on the big screen rather than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., because I'm not overly keen on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., was amazing. He looked hella young as well. Same with Sam Jackson. I don't know if they used the same technology for Coulson as they did Fury. The way they kept spotting out Skrulls in who Skrulls were and trying to was quite funny. There was a scene with Nick Fury in an elevator with a Skrull, and it's the dialogue between the two is quite fun. I just thought it was quite funny because we had a trailer before the film started of Shazam, Captain Marvel, DC. But okay, if you comic book fans, you get the whole thingy. But I found it was quite funny. Chris was like, "What you laughing at?" I was like, "Don't mind a pal." I definitely don't think it's a waste of time. I definitely don't think it's a step down. It's definitely not as epic as stuff like Civil War, as Infinity War itself, Spider-Man Homecoming. Them films for me just blow everything out of the water. It was a great film. It was a good film. It was fun. It was intriguing. The storytelling was done really well. It didn't feel, like I said, parts of it felt a little bit slow to me. But again, I already know the character, so if I didn't know the character, it felt spaced out well enough. The action sequences were fun. We had a great compelling storyline of who Captain Marvel is, who Carol Danvers is. She wants to find out who she used to be, why it's been stopped. It's a friend at the same time becoming a foe. So it's a nice little story. It's not just, again, a typical I'm a bad guy, let's destroy. There are elements of that, but it's a nice character building and self-finding, if that's the right sort of word to use, storytelling film with a lot of awesome action, space effects, spaceships, Skrulls, Kree, a lot of awesomeness. In fact, the awesomeness definitely outweighs the not so awesomeness. I definitely wait for that intro. That Marvel Studios 10 years, fucking awesome. So final thoughts, if I haven't done it already. This one felt a little bit more rambly because I really want to ramble about the parts that I hate, but they're going to do it on a podcast because I want to go into detail. This is just a review, quick of what I thought. I thought maybe they would also introduce a few more extra outside characters. I'm going to shut up now because you guys can come back to listen to the podcast. You can go watch the film yourself. Some parts were really anticlimactic. Some parts felt really short. On a whole, it was a great film. It was really good. I'm going to give it a solid 7 out of 10. It's just for the minor little points. Maybe I'm being a petty little comic book fan. Maybe I'm being too picky. That's just how I thought and how I felt about it. Maybe I'm looking at it all completely wrong. I'm going to go see it again. And then maybe I have to do a second review, but the podcast will be done after me and Chris, so it should be alright. But if you're comic book fans, let me know in the comments below what you think. And if Carol Danvers happens to be one of your favourite comic book characters, let me know how the whole story of Kree, her, Skrulls, all of that is done. If you think it got true justification from the comic books. And if you're new to this, did you to this character, did you get to know her really well? Did you get to know her powers? Did you get to find out and watch a great story about a new character which you may come to really love in the future? Just let me know any thoughts and comments below. If you did enjoy this review, Wabuski, I'm extremely tired. I went to the midnight release after a long ass day of work, and it's currently 6:30 in the morning. I thought I'll get this recorded now so I can get it up there. I don't know what time it's going to be uploaded, like, to be fair. But yes, visuals, that was my review. It gets a 7 out of 10. It was a good film, beautiful to watch. Good story, just a few minor little buggy points. There we go, visuals. Thank you so much for watching. Go check out Captain Marvel ASAP, and then we're like literally a month and a half-ish from Endgame. And Lego nearly fucked up and released their set. Well, they did a few pictures, and then it's all crazy. It's all shenanigans are kicking off. In fact, I'm going to spoil this bit. This is spoiler warning. We didn't see any of the children of Thanos, the Black Order, the children of Thanos. Obsidian Cole, you have a Captain Marvel sash. Can you please explain somewhere? But you didn't explain. Anyway, visuals, that was my review. Boo, boo, boo. Thank you so much for watching. Keep it here and keep on. Keep it out. Endgame is so close. We have to keep on keeping on. We have to. Spider-Man is going to save everybody because he's the fucking best. My boy. He's going to do something, but it's all about him. Then, well, they need to save him. Keep it here and keep on keeping on. Fuck's sake.